Jorge González's love of music even spilled into the classroom. Inside the hallways of King's High School, Senor González wore many hats, including being an advocate.
George was by far the biggest advocate for the underdog that you could have ever met. He would walk into a room and he would actively seek out anyone that he felt was not necessarily included in a conversation and to lift their voice.
George was the kind of person who would accept a kid, a person, for any reason. And that was just his credo. That's how he lived.
As the diversity inclusion coordinator, he led the way in making kids feel special when they came to school.
A month before he passed away, he came and spoke at our school board meeting, and he opened with how he felt like everyone who worked in the school buildings, from the custodial staff to the administrators to the teachers, that they were all educators.
Even between staff and administrators, or administrators in central office, or teachers and parents or students, like, we were always united in his world.
I watched him work in diversity inclusion meetings and, lead those meetings, share concerns, and was very passionate just about everything that we were attempting to do.
George was somebody who cared deeply about the success of every single one of his students.
When we were able to start CORE with Senor González, I felt like there was a lot more just consideration for different people's cultures, their backgrounds, what they may go through, different things like microaggressions.
As you enter our building, you'll notice some flags that maybe were down the corridor, and that's George's doing. He wanted to make sure that every student here at school had a flag that represented their background, their heritage, where they came from.
Because he also had the culture club that was working with the school for a similar goal to make sure that everyone felt included.
And we built this 30-day anti-racism challenge for our students, that our students got to hear things, they got to read things.
The grown-up in the room has to hold the space for those stories to happen, and George did that all the time.
Every increment that we made, every victory that we had, George was there. And they were either his victories or he was there supporting those of us who were having them.
What George started here is really unique in the state of Ohio. We don't have too many individuals like George who took the time to build this kind of legacy that's going to continue, that allows people from all different backgrounds, particularly our students, just to feel comfortable and safe, which is what we strive for in education.
And by the messages left outside his door, you can see the impact he made.
He walked the walk. He wanted to leave the world in a better place than he found it. And I think really, if George could save the world, he would.
We've got these shirts with that quote from George on it. Leave his answer to the question of what is your why?
If we can answer the why, we find our passion. And I can tell you personally, my why is to leave this world a little better than what I found it in. And I can tell you that most of my colleagues, if not all of them, want to leave their piece of the world a little better than how they found it. Thank you very much.